Dr. Irani and friends, who knew 9 years ago when we started the JRD QV to commemorate the memory of JRD Tata that we were lighting a spark for a movement that would take the form and the magnitude of, and the vigor, if you might, of what you see today? I certainly did not. Who knew that what we started at that time, first as an award and then as a measurement of performance, self-assessment, self-measurement, would result in what I might say was the first glue to get the group together, because it served a very important purpose in getting our various companies that were going in different directions together, bound and if you might, held by one of the many common causes that we might have. It's an even more rewarding feeling that in this 9th year, the Tata Group collectively has had the best performance in its living history. And one would like to think that this movement has had something to do and has made a significant contribution towards that, because for the first time, probably in many years, we have shed the philosophy of telling the boss what he wants, speaking of the good news and hiding the bad news. And I think that's one of the outcomes of a thrust of this nature. In today's world of scams and scandals, corporate governance has become an issue that if one looked at the Western world, it's not the place to look today. And perhaps for the first time, a group like ours, utilizing the systems that we have in the TBEM, and in fact, addressing ourselves critically, could in fact establish a standard which others might like to emulate. This movement has been, above everything else, I think, rewarding in the sense that it has been a form of measurement of performance. It has provided a process and a template, if you might, for us to follow. And it has started somewhat rockily in the sense of disbelief, nuisance value, etc. But clearly from the number of assessors, the quality of the assessors, the kind of sacrifices they have made in time to make all of this come together, the mentors who put in their time, and the organizers who supported this and given it the importance that it needs, I think it has been a very commendable effort. We today are at the crossroads of events. In the next year, India will be open to the inflow of foreign goods, tariffs will be down, and competition in its true sense will be upon us. It will not be enough for us to just be a business group that operates well, or to be a group of companies where individually we have products and services which we are proud of. We will need to compete on a global basis. We will need to compare ourselves to the best in the world if we are to survive. And as the theme of today is that of innovation, I urge our companies to really look within themselves and try and be different and not to be afraid to break new ground, not to be averse to taking risks, and not to be averse to thinking of doing something that has not been done before. It is that kind of approach to business that has made a Sony what it is today. It has made different companies, companies that lead the pack and not follow. I hope that in the coming years that some of our companies will really now stand out, not just to be good companies, but to have done things so differently and so successfully that they stand out on a global basis as having broken new ground. And I urge our top managers to allow some of our people to dream, because out of those dreams will come some new ideas and new ways to address the business world and to produce products which I think will have an impact on either the way we live or the quality of life that people around us have. I think all of you have suffered through a lot of speeches, so I won't carry on very long, other than to say that next year will be the 10th year of this movement. It will also be the birth centenary of Jamsetji Tata. It will also be the birth centenary of JRD Tata and the death centenary of Jamsetji Tata. I hope when we meet here next year that we will have companies that will have won this coveted award. I hope that the group will have even a more successful year than it has this year, and in fact, the chances are that this is entirely possible, and that almost in this very memorable year that will take place next year, that we will really have the best year in this group's history, surpassing this year, which in itself was a landmark year. And I hope that this movement will continue and that the people that have made it so successful will continue to give it the support and the vigor that has made it what it is today. Thank you.